Howdy, diddly do. It's that time again. I'm joined by Susan as usual. And this week we're talking about an 8-part Amazon Prime series based on a well liked and successful video game. Some of you guys out there aren't video gamers, but hopefully you may have caught Fallout, the TV series. It's about surviving after the bomb drops. So it begins in 2077, and then after the bomb drops, we move on 200 years. So let's go over to Susan and see what she thinks of the Fallout and all the people what live in the vault.
All right. Well, this is a great piece that a guy by the name of Walter Goggins is basically front and center of. He and Aaron Moten and Ella Purnell, excuse me, are the three main actors in it, and it is a story about what it's like after, and fallout being nuclear fallout, and its effects, and the Cooper Howard character who becomes the ghoul. The only way that you can really tell that he's not alive is that he doesn't have a nose. And he doesn't have a nose, not like Voldemort or, somebody like that. He doesn't have a nose because he's got a gaping hole here that goes right back into his face.
Yeah.
And so you're like, all your insides would be leaking out that. So I don't know. And there are a few ghouls like that around, and it's about this company basically called Vault-Tec, who created all of these bomb shelters at some point in the future, whatever, and decided to, force the issue and stock them. Ridiculous amounts of cuteness are in one of the vaults. It seems like a utopian society, actually. And only to find out, over time, that it's less utopian and more totalitarian, less compassionate and more, manipulative. And I just think that it's kind of amazing. And then there's another group of folks on the surface who those are the folks in the vaults underneath, sort of like the caves of steel in the Asimov's Foundation hegemony. This Yeah, and then on the surface, there's another group called the Brotherhood, which is a bunch of people who are, wandering around in these huge mech suits, and they're called knights. And then they have feudal sort of relational stylings like knight squires and pages and stuff. And that was really interesting too. And so it is really post-apocalyptic, and it's all about Los Angeles. And you get all the way through the 8 episodes, and you realize that season 2 is going to take off in Las Vegas. And so they're just basically kind of taking Route 66 I think. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like. But they talk about sandy, what is it called? Shady sands or something. That's one part of their community. And then there's these great gaping holes. And apparently they've come up with cold fusion, which is kind of a motivating device for one of the searches. So that was fun. I like that. That's always good. Somebody finding like a Tesla sort of uh eternal power source is always good. That is always a good thing. The fusion core to the big mech suits and the fusion core to the power grid. And when they turn on the power grid, even though there've been these huge uh thermonuclear effects, all the lights turned back on. I just thought, nah, that's not possible. A lot of that shit would have melted. But anyway,
True.
my expertise in physics doesn't extend much into nuclear physics, so I just okay. I was willingly suspending disbelief at that point and like going, I don't know. And that was fun. And it is fun. It's kind of a see, I don't even know what the video game would be about because it doesn't seem like there's too many like single person shooter kind of things, except for the mech suits. And it doesn't seem like there's like the Rust kind of create your own space kind of thing. I didn't know what the hell Fallout video game was going to be like. I mean, is it a quest? Is that what this is? Like,
The Fallout game
yeah, do
is
tell.
there's been several on
Tell
the
me.
set. There's been several Fallout games because they're so successful. Um, it's all about being a vault dweller, going out of the vault into the wastelands and surviving. And you come up against the knights of the Brotherhood of Knights and all like that. And I've got to say that the scenery in this TV series has got it down to a T
Oh,
of what's in the video. You know, all the wreckage, the wastelands, the crumbling buildings. And of course they haven't changed, which I do like because it started off in 2077, but it still was 1950s. The music, the clothes, the design of the cars was sort of 1950s
hmm.
in 2077, and that's what the game is as well. It's that sort of feel, that sort of look. That
So it's retro. It's
yeah,
a retro chic kind of response back in the
yeah,
back in the future.
yeah, retro chic. It's like in this alternate universe, the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s never happened. The 50s just carried on going.
Oh,
And the old televisions, the style of the clothes, and the music used in this is amazing against the backdrop.
oh, it is. It's really something.
All these 1950s music, Nat King Cole and stuff like that.
Mm.
It works so well, but that's what it's like in the game.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
you get this, so they have really taken a lot from the game and put it into these 8 episodes. So, but yeah, I didn't know what to expect. This is the first time I've seen this series. I mean, it's only been out about a month or so it's fairly new to me as well. The TV series, I enjoyed it because the design of everything. It just because I'm a bit of a gamer.
Yeah, you are.
When I get a chance, I like to sit down and play a game. And I have played Fallout a few times, and you get the feel of it. You do get the feel because you're in the wasteland.
Yeah.
The way the vault costumes of all the people from Vault-Tec, it's exactly like that. Even going into the little what's it the on the wastelands, the little place where people live, where they're to buy things, you pay by cola bottle tops. That's the money in the future, because in the wastelands is all the metal bottle tops. So this is why you see in this series people metal detecting for bottle tops. That is the going. That is the money now in the future, which is it's so they've kept all that. So it's great,
But
great.
the cool thing about that is that in anybody who has lived in California, there in 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 difference to other places in the United States, more people drink soda out of glass bottles with metal bottle caps than like anywhere else in this country. It's just such a unique thing to California. So that was really, I was like, oh, of course. I mean, they still have those old vending machines with the glass bottles that drop. I mean, there is enough of a 60s and 50s chic that is still present in California. That's I don't know. I just different about the place. So it's a lot different than, you know, the Midwest or the Northeast, which is, I've lived in the Midwest and I've lived in the Northeast, and I just, it was different. It was a different sort of scene. But go ahead, Lee. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, no, it's just you do get the feel of, as I say, the game, but this goes even further. You get to know the characters, because in a game you don't. At least you get to know the characters in the background. I mean, you say you've got what's her face? What's her name? Ella Purnell as
Lucy,
Lucy is the one who decides to leave Vault 33 in search of her father.
and the
One,
father played by Kyle MacLachlan.
yeah, who only appears in the first and last episode.
But I
You,
mean, it's going to be a little weird if he's in it, right?
mhm.
The
Oh
man,
yeah,
the man
I mean,
doesn't do normal like very square things. He just doesn't.
he's from the school of Lynch. Um,
Yes.
so you've mentioned Walton Goggins as Cooper Howard, the once famous Hollywood actor who somehow becomes the ghoul over 200 years. Um,
And loses his nose in the process.
yeah. You've also got, who's the other one?
Maximus.
Maximus, that's the name.
Aaron
Aaron,
Mountain.
yes, as Maximus, who spends most of his time lying,
Hmm.
pretending to be someone else.
Hmm.
A great character.
Hmm.
Um, and there was another character in here. Who was it? It was, of course, as a guest character, we have Matt Berry
I know. That was fun. As the
playing three.
robot.
Well, he was playing three parts in this. He played Snip Snip the robot. He was also was it Sebastian, the English actor, before talking
Oh,
to,
right.
and
Back.
also he played Mr. Handy, a general automatics helper bot.
Yeah,
Uh,
the robot. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was good to see him as well.
And
As soon as
then,
as
and
soon as that
then
robot came in with his voice, I thought, wow, wow, this is good.
Matt Berry's everywhere.
He is.
And there was uh there was Lucy's brother Norm.
Yeah. Who sort of on his own discovers the truth in Vault 33, 32, and 31.
So true. No, like that was a really good character arc. I mean, he started off, being sort of Weasley and wanting to be everybody's best friend and trying to
I,
aim for power, and then he's like,
I can't go because I'm a coward.
uh-huh.
And then he keeps delving deeper and deeper into what's going on.
And he really becomes sort of a a point of truth in the whole thing. And
Hmm.
Betty was, you thought, oh, she's gonna be great. She's gonna be so cool. And she turns out to be so evil. God.
You know, Betty does look a lot like what's it? I forgot her name now. The horror.
Oh, Nichelle Nichols?
Yes, she's got so similar features to her.
A little bit, yeah.
Every time I saw her, I thought, I'm thinking of her.
Huh.
But I shouldn't really do that because
No,
you know
you can call
Leslie.
Leslie Uggams a discount Nichelle Nichols. That's fine.
But yeah, but she should be known in her own right, shouldn't she? Not
Well, this character was well done, but I mean, still, if you find somebody who reminds you so strongly of somebody else, with I know a discount Matt Damon, and there's some other discount style people, and then there was that Zach Cherry guy. He's like a sort of funny actor, but unless he plays somebody who's just like really sort of a broken figure, really pathetic, really. I that was really cool.
I mean, it's a great story. Also, it didn't hold back on the violence.
No.
There's blood and guts everywhere,
Uh-huh.
um, which it should be because you don't make something like Fallout and making it so tame. You've got to stick to what was in the game.
Uh-huh.
So you do have exploding heads and,
Uh-huh.
and stuff like that. Um, but it's it's you do feel for Lucy as she's in search of a father. She needs to get her father back, and then by the end of it, she's discovered the truth and who her father is,
Mm-hmm.
and she has to make that decision of what do I do? She's been through she's been to hell and back on her journey to get there.
I mean, she was even almost swallowed by what used to be one of their friends or something.
Oh, the big creature thing.
The big creature with all the fingers, actual human figures in the mouth.
Did you see? Yeah, you noticed that. I thought, oh god, it's got fingers in its mouth.
Oh my God.
And
What
then
that is.
she did lose a finger as well.
Yeah.
The ghoul cut a finger off, but Snip Snip could put one back on.
Matt Berry, he's everywhere. Oh my God, that was.
I mean, I can understand Carl McLachlan's character because he was there 200 years ago in
Mhm.
2017. He was being put into sleep
Mhm.
to be there 200 years ago. The ghoul is put to sleep in his grave with drugs, so he's lasted 200 years ago. But the character. What was it? Is it Moldova?
Yeah, Lee Moldaver.
Um, how,
She
how
was.
how did she last 200 years?
How did she sur? Yeah, how did she survive the whole time?
Because as far as I know, she wasn't frozen or anything like that. It didn't
Yeah,
say anything like that. Because I was watching it, I'm thinking, well, if that's the character back then, speaking to Goggins' character before he became the ghoul,
yeah,
how is she there now, 200 years later?
right.
Wasn't really explained, that one. Unless she had
No,
a personal, freezer, what she could get rid of, I suppose.
yeah,
But it was told and given away that Carl's character was frozen with all the other people
yeah,
in the vault. Unless Moldova came from the vault.
unless.
Because she seemed friendly with Lucy's mother.
Yeah.
So
And was Maximus was he young Maximus, was he in a refrigerator?
well, that's another thing. 'Cause I was watching it. So he was a young kid when Shady Sands, because he was from Shady Sands, wasn't he?
Yeah, or was he, anyway, go on.
He was, but Shady Sands was destroyed because of Lucy's mother going to live there. So this was well after the bombs had dropped. So I'm guessing Maximus wasn't there when the original bombs dropped 200 years ago. He was there at Shady Sands, and he survived by jumping into a fridge. But that's not really explained rather
No,
well.
no, it's not. I was thinking maybe he was.
Because he's not over 200 years old. He was
I
there.
didn't know, because like maybe because like he could have been in one of those refrigerators from like the old times.
What, like Indiana Jones was? Um,
Yeah, I mean, there you go. That is what I thought.
yeah, I think Maximus was when he was a young kid, jumped into one of those fridges to survive the blast at Shady Sands,
Oh, okay.
which was done by, spoilers, Lucy's father,
Right,
because he was upset with the mother.
right.
So that was well after the nuclear dropout fallout from 2077. You
Yeah.
see, it's a bit confusing there. And also to find out the consortium
Drop the bombs to begin with.
will do it ourselves.
Oh, fuck. That was
Wow.
like that was horrifying.
And what, who was um Goggins' wife? She was just so cold hearted, wasn't she? What was her name? Because he was sort of finding out how the real side of her, wasn't he? Because he had it all wired and he was listening to her conversations.
Oh yeah,
She,
yeah, that's right.
she was
Barb?
just, yeah, she was just sat there in that conference room, coldly saying, I'm thinking, wow, she has changed. Uh, yeah, and how we're going to succeed? We're going to drop the bombs first. It was all about the money, wasn't it? And Becky, doing it for the company. Wow. And
Yeah.
I tell you something, I don't think it'd be that far from the truth these days.
Well, we're again, we in this country are up to our eyeballs in protests at every university, every major point of intellectual shear zone is riled up again, and there's people like occupying with tents and things. It's it's really fragmented
Mm.
politically. So yeah, you're it's very accurate.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if there's some conglomerate people sat there around a table saying, let's drop the bombs. It'll be better for us. We'll make the money after it's all done. I won't put it past them
I know.
because we those people like us we don't control this planet.
And we don't really matter that much to the
No.
powers that be.
Like in Fallout, that nobody really mattered. Only the certain people, elite, who could afford a vault.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah, I'm reading a book about a trans woman from the 60s, like her she was part of the hang on a second. Um she was part of the Stonewall thing that went on, the Stonewall riots, and her name is Miss Major. And she and Toshio Moronek wrote this book called Miss Major Speaks, and
all right.
it's all talking about the powers that be and how bloody minded. I can use that in conversation with you. You'll understand it. You know the the cis straight you know want to control all the gender ideation and everything of humanity, how they are just super wicked, and the powers that be. And I really agree. I um
Yeah, we don't control the planet. We don't.
yeah, like the Vault-Tec could be real, Vault-Tec. It's also very this is that whole Vault-Tec thing is very much like Ayn Rand, the trains.
Hmm.
And the question is, who is John Galt? And then there's also the whole thing, like like when we did Snowpiercer, it's
Mm.
that same kind of grinding, you know, divisive attitude, like we have to hold on to what's ours because
You're
that.
doing we're at the top.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, it
Oh
happens.
gosh.
But
It's a good
yeah,
it's a good TV show, this Fallout. I was surprised I didn't because I never played the game, I didn't see where it connected, but
oh yeah,
that's
it's
amazing.
yeah, it's I think they've shown a bit of love for the fans by not really changing much
Good.
uh, visually. Um, so you've got to be a thumbs up for that. Um, anything else then before we go to
Oh
Star?
yeah, like you were saying, the soundtrack was fantastic.
Yeah,
Like the jazz greats, the
yeah,
vocal greats, I mean crooners, and man, it was beautiful.
it was like I know it was like as I said, the '50s never stopped; they just carried on.
Mm.
It's like the what's the cat the Jetsons.
Mm-hmm.
You had that sort of style with the visual, what they thought science fiction TVs would look like back then.
Mm-hmm.
That's the sort of visuals you got in Fallout. It was that sort of feel,
Mm.
um, you know. So good thumbs up to them that they kept that design and everything like that, because
Yeah.
that's what Fallout's about. That feel.
Yeah.
It's not too.
It's a bit like Brazil too.
Yeah, because the music
Mhm.
and the way it was
Mm.
visually made. Yeah,
Mm.
I get that now. Yeah, I didn't really think of that then, but now you said it, yeah.
Mm.
Uh, anything else before we go?
And so when we get another season, I think that they are going to be in Vegas, and I think that I think it's called New Vegas because
Ah,
that's what that sign said. It said New Vegas, and it had like the Las Vegas Tower, that one that looks like the Space Needle.
so that's what that is it?
Mm.
All right. Well, we'll see. I don't think it'll be this year for the second season. So it's only just come out, but
Yeah.
an enjoyable watch.
Yep.
I just thought I'd pick that because we hadn't done a modern TV series for a while. So, what's your final sense gone? Fallout then?
Um, my final say is, yeah, we should just disarm before we end up doing some catastrophic damage to each other just out of, you know, greed and avarice. So, um, I'd like to, I'll say 9.5, atomic, uh, atomic mushroom clouds out of 10. And it seems really fitting that we just reviewed Oppenheimer as well. So
Hmm, yeah.
funny how these things all kind of gel together at the same time.
Well, I'm going to give this. Hmm, I'm going to give this 8.5 ghouls out of 10. There was just, I think, as I said in the cast, so a few things what was a bit confusing, what wasn't really answered.
Hmm.
Like Maximus and how
Hmm.
old, where was he from, and stuff like that. They could have answered that a lot more easier, but maybe it might be answered in season two.
Yeah.
Who knows? But 8.5, good score for me. I enjoyed it
Hmm.
for 8 parts. TV series, it flew by.
Yeah, I just like everything that Kyle MacLachlan's ever done.
Mm,
Honest to goodness, like people, I'm tired of the hate that his Dune comes under.
mhm.
Um, I I always want to talk about Twin Peaks. I like talking about everything that he's done, like is like the Blue Velvet.
Yeah,
He's just such an awesome actor, and he the things that he chooses, I personally really love, and I think that he's just so weird. It, it makes me happy.
cool. Weird always makes me happy as well. Yeah, because we're weird. So
Precisely, exactly.
exactly.
That's what
So
Geeks Assembled is.
yes,
Dude, that's our jam.
we're not normal. So that is our little review of Fallout. Um, our usual bump at this time is: have you seen it? Have you watched it? What did you think of it? Leave a message below. You'll find this video on all forms, social media platforms. We're there on everyone because I share it about. You can leave a comment and all. Um, Also, leave a comment if you'd like to join us. So, this is the usual bump we do at the end of every video. You just need to be 18 for apparent reasons, and just need a working camera
Yeah,
and microphone.
sorry about that. And the other thing is, like, because of the 18 thing, because the last podcast that we did this weekend, we talked a lot about drug use,
Yeah.
and don't want the kids to get into that,
Yeah, this is it. I mean, the main reason for 18 is it's that either violence, horror, gore, sex, nudity, drug use. That's
The
why
drug use.
we state you've got to be 18 and over, because we don't want to get into trouble. No, 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 no. We abide by the law, Geeks Assembled law. So, um, yeah. Also, before I forget, have you got a hold of your thing?
Not yes.
Oh, yeah, and you've got your bell as well. Good. Um, oh,
What is this?
please, if you do follow us on YouTube, press the bell notification button. You'll get notified every time we put a video up. And that's us done for another weekend. It's been fun, hasn't it, Susan?
It has.
I enjoy it. Even if it's just me and Susan for the past 26 years.
Mhm.
It feels like it. But come on, join us. We don't
Yeah.
bite. We don't bite much. So,
And we're expecting more Doctor Who to start in a week.
oh,
So,
it's next week, isn't it?
uh-huh.
Oh my God, because I know what you're going to choose then to review, aren't you?
Uh-huh.
Oh God, Miss Jones.
So sorry. It's just the way it goes. Yay.
Well, let's hope it's good. Because if it isn't, I won't hold back.
I know you won't.
So, yep, that's us done for another week. Hope you enjoy these casts because we like doing them.
Sure do.
It keeps us out of trouble. So, until next time, guys, please be safe.